Good morning, students. Today we will study the different models of the atom. After the discovery of electrons and protons, the immediate problem was to know about their position in an atom. J.J. Thomson in 1898 proposed that an atom may be regarded as a sphere of approximately radius 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter, carrying the positive charge due to protons, in which negatively charged electrons are embedded or studded. This Thompson's model of an atom is also called plum pudding model. This is because the arrangement is just like raisins in pudding. However, this model of an atom did not have any experimental evidence in its support, and it was therefore rejected. So let us see the salient features of this plum pudding model. Atom consists of an uniform sphere of radius 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter. The positive charge due to protons is spread over the entire surface of the sphere. See, these are the positive charges. These are spread over the entire surface of the sphere. Electrons are embedded in the sphere in such a way that the net charge on the sphere is zero. That means Thomson is also saying that an atom is electrically neutral. The concept of nucleus was given by Rutherford in 1911. The idea was based on the results of his famous experiment known as alpha particle scattering experiment. Now, from this historical alpha particle scattering experiment, we come to know about the position of the two fundamental particles of an atom, electrons and protons. This experiment involved the study of scattering of alpha particles by a thin gold foil. The mode of experiment of alpha particle provided a wealth of information regarding the composition of an atom. A brief description of this historical alpha particle scattering experiment is given below. The setup of this apparatus used by Rutherford is shown in this figure. The apparatus consists of a source of alpha particle enclosed in a lead block. The highly energetic alpha particles coming out from this source were collimated into fine beam with the help of lead slit system and were made to attack on a thin gold foil. The gold foil was surrounded by circular fluorescent zinc sulfide screen. Whenever an alpha particle struck the screen, a tiny flash of light was produced at that point. A movable microscope was used to observe these flashes. Rutherford found that most of the alpha particle crossed the gold foil and struck the fluorescent screen placed around the foil and produced flashes. Some of the alpha particles came back and produced flashes in front of the foil. He counted the scattered particles in different directions. He repeated the experiment several times and then made some important observations. From his historical alpha particle scattering experiment, Rutherford made the following observations and conclusions. Number 1. Most of the alpha particles passed through the gold foil undeflected. As most of the alpha particles passed through the atoms of gold undeflected, this means that they did not come across any obstruction in their path. Thus, most of the space inside an atom is expected to be empty. Then Rutherford observed that some of these particles deviated slightly from their path. We know that alpha particles are doubly charged helium. Some of the particles were repelled to a small extent by a positive charge. Very few of the particles, the ones at the center, retraced their path back. That means they suffer 180-degree deflection. This means that they were strongly repelled by a small positively charged body at the center of the atom. This positively charged body at the center of an atom is called the nucleus. Since the electron has negligible mass, the mass of an atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Rutherford also said that electrons revolve around the nucleus at large distances from it. Rutherford regarded the small, heavy and positively charged portion inside the atom as nucleus. All the positively charged protons were supposed to be present in the nucleus, and they are accounting for its mass. The space which surrounds the nucleus are known as extranuclear portion or extranuclear part. And according to Rutherford, the electrons are supposed to be present in it. Rutherford further stated that the electrons present in the extranuclear portion did not suffer any obstruction to the alpha particles, and therefore most of them could pass through undeflected. The alpha particles which came into the positively charged field around the nucleus or those which grazed it suffered minor deflections, while the particles which came into head-on collision with the nucleus suffered major deflection and even had to retrace their path back. So, on the basis of the conclusions derived from the alpha particle scattering experiments, Rutherford proposed a model of atom. This model is known as nuclear model of atom or Rutherford's nuclear model of an atom. The salient features of this model are as follows. Almost all the masses and entire positive charge of an atom is concentrated into its center called nucleus. Due to the presence of entire mass, the nucleus is very heavy. The second point is the size of the nucleus is extremely small as compared to the size of the atom. Radius of the nucleus is of the order 10 to the power minus 13 centimeter, while that of the atom is of the order 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter. The remaining space in the atom is hollow. That's why most of the alpha rays passed undeviated through the atom. Electrons move at a very high speed around the nucleus in closed circular paths. The total negative charge on the electrons is same as that of the total positive charge present in the nucleus. Thus, the atom as a whole is electrically neutral. Rutherford's nuclear model can be compared with the solar system. In a solar system, various planets revolve around the Sun in orbits almost the same way as the electrons revolve in orbits around the nucleus. Due to this analogy, electrons of an atom are also termed as planetary electrons. So this much for today. In our next class, we will study about the drawbacks of Rutherford's model and Bohr's theory. Thank you.